to clean my screen. Hang on. Be right back.
Hello, good morning, everybody. We're live. We have Thomas Target Prime Rib all the way from New Jersey. We got Dr. Kiltz. He'll be right back. And, well, we can start with Thomas. Let's hear a little bit about your story, your carnivore journey, Mr. Prime Rib.
Yes. As you guys know, I'm type 2 diabetic. I also had neuropathy. I actually basically, excuse me. Long story short, I basically lost all five of my toes on my right foot, and I have about 25% of the bone taken out of my left heel. So, I was in a wheelchair for a while, and I was using a knee walker, everything, going back and forth, back and forth. And then there was also a time where I actually had an infection in my back that actually put me bedbound for about 3 months. So I was actually totally incapacitated for the longest time in rehabs and everything. So I actually understand where Mitch is coming from with the rehabs, because they are horrible.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah.
And then how did you figure out eating a certain way would help you?
Well, I was actually watching a video, and I forget what the lady's name is. I keep on forgetting. And she actually did where fat is good for diabetes and carbs are bad. So that image just kind of stuck in my head. And, it kind of like bamboozled from there, basically. And I went low carb, I went keto, I did all the fun stuff. And, I actually lost a lot of weight. About 15 years ago, I used to be about 379, and now I'm about 250. So, all this great stuff has happened to me. And I was, towards about a year and a half ago, I was like, carnivore, I go off it. I'd be on carnivore for like 3 weeks. I go off it because either depression or something would actually, I need to have that vegetable, or that, mostly an Oreo cookie, because I actually live right above a chocolate shop.
Oh no, that's torture.
So I got them to agree with me not to sell me any candy or anything, just sell me coffee. So that's what they do. That's the one habit I wasn't able to break. So I have some coffee right here, and so
I haven't yet.
Yeah, you haven't yet.
I definitely plan on it, but one of the reasons why I think I'm on it still is because I want to give them something, like give them some business. So coffee's really the only business I can give them. So, because they've been pretty nice to me. They were actually very nice to me when I was in the rehab and stuff like that. So. Hi, Dr. Nelson.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good. Long time no see.
Cutting it short. And one thing, the coffee, one thing at a time. I think I know some of your story, and I know you've struggled sometimes.
Pretty well, I think, by this point.
Staying within the lane, but you're progressing, you're improving, you're moving in the right direction. So that's great.
Thank you. And one thing about the coffee is I used to do it with like six Splendas and like cream.
Ooh.
Now it's black.
Yeah,
that's the right direction. Then that's the right direction.
I got inspired by Mitch. I drink it black.
And I discovered, before I went stricter on things, I discovered I was using Splenda a lot, and my wife as well. And the Splenda, particularly my wife, shoots her blood sugar almost as much as just putting straight sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because the body doesn't know that
it has dextrose and it has maltodextrin, which are
terrible.
Anyways, so she's she loves her coffee and the sweet days. So I buy allulose with monk fruit for her, and she puts a bunch of it still. But
I haven't tried allulose yet. I've heard about it, but I haven't actually had it.
What So I buy allulose by itself in the house, but she likes the monk fruit with allulose because it has a sweeter taste.
Oh, okay.
So uh, there's, at the very least, they're not synthetic sweeteners. They are still plant products. They're plant sugars. They just have less of an effect on your blood sugar. She's down over 70 pounds. She's off insulin.
Amazing.
That's nice.
She's not. I call her quasi carnivore because sometimes she won't eat vegetables, but most of the time she'll put some veggies on her plate.
It's the right direction. It is
Yeah.
It's the right direction. It's away from the highly refined, processed, seed oiled
Yeah,
stuff that just tastes so yummy you can't stop eating it.
it's like an
We can't-
attraction. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like who's seen the movie WALL-E? I just thought of that. The Disney movie WALL-E, where we destroyed our planet with Walmart. It didn't say Walmart, but
Oh, is that with the
Walmart with the
with the
robot?
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then he goes to outer space, and everyone is like 700 pounds and in these little wheelchairs, just eating pizza all day. We're stopping that right now. Oh, I wanted to shorten I know your name is Thomas, but I did hashtag Tom.
my name's also Tom.
Oh, okay, good.
It goes both ways. I just, it's weird. I don't mind being called Tom, but I like to have my name written, Thomas.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. So,
if that
and
makes
then
any
I
sense.
just did
So
hashtag
I'm okay
Tom.
with Tom. I'm okay with hashtag Tom.
Okay. Okay,
What's
good.
So what's the prize?
The prize is 30 Days to Carnivore course in the Mighty Tribe. First time we've given that away. I just realized we should do that also. 30 Days to Carnivore course. It's great. The course is really good. More people should be doing it. I think when you do courses and when you have your community and your groups, it's easier to stay the course. Even if you fall off, you can continuously get inspired and the help that you need.
I mean, I think community is the most is really important. Like as you guys know, I'm actually part of this one, Carrie Mann's tribe and Bella's. So
wow.
I do all three. Yeah. It's kind of weird. With you guys not being any cost, you would think I would have started with you guys, but I actually started with Carrie because I won that membership. And then I won the membership with Bella. So,
Oh, that's fun.
So.
Hey, winning stuff.
Members of those groups also. Paid members and Chafee too.
Aw.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
We need to invest in all of our health and wellness.
Yeah.
This is an investment. So think about it. How much do we spend on coffee every day or other things, right?
Exactly.
Right. I think like Carrie's group is like 2 Starbucks coffees a month. And same with Chafee's is maybe 3 a month. Like, it's a very good point.
Well, what's funny is I used to do security at one of the malls in New Jersey in Princeton, and they had a Starbucks. I did at the I don't know if you know where I'm talking about, Dr. Kiltz, but Market Fair Mall.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually used to do security there.
Yeah.
And I actually there was a Starbucks there, and I would work right before going in for the overnight. I would go in and get a cup of coffee, and they give it to me for free. And people would ask me, they'd be like, "Well, how's the coffee there?" I said, "Well, it's delicious for free coffee."
That's a good price, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If I had to pay for it, not so much. No offense, Starbucks, but you're a little strong.
On Kilt's Mighty Tribe, we have Edmund Coleman here, Jonathan Fay, David B., Teresa Pedersen. And Teresa says 6 cups of coffee with 2 teaspoons of butter. Hard to quit after drinking since 10 years old, 56 years. And, so is coffee the biggest harm we do, Dr. Nelson?
No.
Unfortunately, not.
Unfortunately, because it gives us a good excuse.
Yeah, I say add buttercream. That's the best thing. And enjoy it. I'm off of it mostly. And
I love butter in my coffee. I just don't do it very often.
Yeah.
All right. We got to know who's the coffee drinker.
Sweet butter, sweet cream.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Who's a coffee drinker? Let us know in the chat. And now Kate has a question. Kate Sprague. Do you think everyone should prime when starting carnivore? Prime is like when you extra
it's
eat.
like
You eat a lot.
priming when you eat a little bit more. I think I benefited from the priming. I think it kind of helped me. Like my sugars were actually pretty high, and Dr. Dustin Nelson, I think you know about this. I basically, when I did priming, it actually helped me be able to know how to eat as well as how to fast, and so it helped me out with that. I've always known how to fast, but not putting them both together is always hard.
Yeah. Hard. Sometimes we need to do a little bit of things a little hard. The easy thing is sometimes you don't find it rewarding when you get the results, right? So today, last Sunday was my last meal, and I decided to do a 7-day fast, which I've never done. I've done up to 5. So today's Wednesday. We'll see if I make it to Sunday.
Keep going.
When I get on stage at Yuma, I should be 7 days fasting. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but
you're going to do it. You're going to do it. I did a 7-day in November after a 5-day in October, and I just did a 5-day last month, and so we'll see if I'm going to do another one this month.
Yeah, it's actually going to do a fast from Saturday to tomorrow, but I end up breaking the fast because I found out some stressing news. So I, used to go where when I get stressed out, I'd have like a cupcake and cakes and stuff like that. This time I just had 2 burger patties, but unfortunately I broke the fast.
It's okay.
It's like
thank you, Brenda.
Life happens.
Check is in the mail.
I think there's a T-shirt that says that.
Always the way it's supposed to.
Yep.
Do you have any particular philosophies, readings, things that you sort of fall back to or move forward to sort of help on the mindset?
Well, I don't really read. I'm going to be honest. I really don't read much because I'm like one of those people that as soon as I start a book, I start another book, and then I start another book. And then I'm reading all these books, but I never finish them, and then that frustrates me because the frustration is too high. So, I just pretty nice mug there. Is that a mug or a book?
I think it's a book.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was a mug.
That's the book.
It says Jesus CEO.
Yeah, I see.
I can't.
Yeah, Jesus CEO. That's it.
But I do occasionally, I do try going back to drawing. I stopped for a while, but I actually do draw.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Simply Jesus. These are great books. Jesus Calling.
Yep.
And another great one is my friend Wayne. And I'm with you, Thomas. I don't read these cover to cover.
Oh, you don't?
Page by page from time to time.
Oh, okay.
I love the time to time for everything.
Page to page, time to time.
It makes me feel good.
Daily Stoic.
Page by page, time to time. From the very beginning, make it your practice to say to every harsh impression, you are an impression and not at all what you appear to be. Next, examine and test it by the rules you possess, the first and greatest of which is this: whether it belongs to the thing in our control or not in our control. And if the latter, be prepared to respond. It is nothing to me, Epictetus. It is nothing to me. I don't know what that means.
It just sounds deep.
Yeah. But you know what? They're simple. They're simple, short phrases for us to contemplate every day, which I think, and I got a text message this morning from a carnivore saying, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm depressed. And my first question is, what are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to?
Right.
And if we simply change those things, because we have to not only input good food, but good thought, right?
Right. And the people you hang with, and the people who you hang
I
with.
don't know about this Nelson guy.
At least he's in Boca.
We still let him know,
I don't know. He let me be in his house last week, and I know he's thinking about not doing it again.
It's all part of the journey. And let's see, Christopher Ovard, carnivore for almost 3 months, was ketovore for 3 months before that. I changed between OMAD and fast 48, 72 hours once a month or twice a month. A1C was 9.9 and 9.6 Monday. Carnivore. Fatty meat, salt water, 1 meal a day. That's the way.
Yeah.
And as you think, so shall it be. My bet is a lot of carnivores eat too much protein. They don't eat enough fat. And and that's one of our biggest problems. But I guess the question is, I always ask people, what do you eat? You take pictures of it, write it down, because
I eat a healthy diet.
Is it clean, organic?
Yeah, a clean, organic, healthy, balanced,
colorful.
Proper human diet.
What, Thomas?
I said it's the proper human diet.
Can carnivore cure? Oh, I'm sorry. There's a
no. That's the common answer. That's the common answer your patients will give you.
Right.
What were you sharing there?
I was sharing. I was waiting to see Lewis in the chat. He's a friend of mine. Lives in Cali, Colombia, and we went out to lunch with his family. This is Lewis, and they made these shirts for Dr. Kilt.
Oh, that's cool.
I need some of those shirts.
I'll make sure to get
you.
You
make some. Make some.
Yeah. All right. It's
awesome. Let's see.
Make one for me too.
Milka's Kitchen on Instagram. Can carnivore cure uterine fibroids, or can they reduce uterine fibroids?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah,
because it reduces inflammation.
Sleep paralysis. What is sleep paralysis? Maybe Dr. Nelson knows what sleep paralysis is, or I don't know what it is.
It's a sleep disorder, and I don't, some people read things. I'm not saying it's not real, by the way, but some people read this and, oh, that's what I have. And I have people I know who have told me, explain. It's one of many sleep disorders. It's not rare, but
what is it? You can't sleep or you sleep too much?
No, people claim to become completely paralyzed while they're having their sleep, in particular if they're having dreams or night terrors and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Inability. Well, I mean, when you're asleep, temporary state of paralysis occurs when a person is falling asleep or waking up, inability to move, speak, despite being fully conscious. Well, maybe you're in a dream state. I have these problems in a dream state.
It's a matter of the perception you're having as you're falling asleep, where you're still in between conscious and unconscious. And when you're waking up, which you're still waking up. I
think I have those all the time where you're asleep, but you can't, in this dream state, but you move, right? You're trying to, in the dream, you're working to move, but you can't. I think it's just a mind
in
state.
Particular, when you're having a nightmare or night terror, and you sort of know you could wake up, but you can't, and then you can move. It's perception. It's perception.
I agree with you. Paralysis when you sleep is kind of a good thing. I used to sleepwalk. I used to find myself outside.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so my bet is it's probably kind of normal, right? I was going to comment one more time on let me see here, Christopher Overard's issue with carnivore ketovore for 3 months, and hemoglobin A was just so high. Remember, liver takes time to heal, depending on how much damage you add to the liver. The insulin function is on the liver, and it takes time to heal that. So I think that's one of the big ones.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
were you going to say, Dr. Nelson?
I'm sorry.
Did you have another comment?
Oh, I was gonna ask Thomas. Has it been easy for you?
You mean in general, or
since you started this journey years ago, on and off keto and everything? Has it been an easy thing?
no? I mean, not really. No.
All right.
It's been back and forth and everything like that. I mean, obviously, I still lost the toes. I still, had damage to the feet and everything like that. And it's it's a struggle. It's still a struggle.
That's a damage that doesn't happen overnight. Obviously, before any doctor tells a patient they've been diabetic or they're diabetic at that point in time, it's been in the making for 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that happens overnight. And it takes us time sometimes to recognize. I'm on the same boat. And it takes us time to recognize this is really causing damage. I need to get off this path.
I remember seeing a video with I think it's Dr. or Stan Eckbert, the old triathlon. He does like videos like with like eating and stuff like that. I'm sure you've heard of him. He was saying about how insulin kind of like develops, insulin resistance starts to develop like way before the sugars even show.
Well, insulin resistance is liver damage.
Right. So
Insulin resistance is liver damage. As the liver slowly begins to be damaged, secondary to plants, which damage the liver, the ability of glucose to be converted to fat via insulin reduces. I mean, glucose levels rise, insulin level rises. The question is the pathology insulin or is the pathology the liver?
I would say the liver. I mean, after learning from you and everything like that, I would definitely say the liver.
And it's still not even all in the liver, in the sense that the liver is responding, and the insulin production is a result of what we're eating mostly. 95% of diabetics shouldn't be diabetics.
Well, 99% of, I guess you mean type 2s.
No. Okay, so we're getting into finer nuance. There's a few percentage of diabetics that will always develop type 2 diabetes because there are genetic predispositions and other things. I mean, we shouldn't even know about type 2 diabetes because it's not really, shouldn't be really common.
Right.
But if you don't eat plants, if you only eat raw fatty meat, what are your odds of becoming a type 2 diabetic?
That's where I'm going. It's going to be
right?
very closest to zero. There's still going to be some people on this earth, but
like a slim,
it's going to be very small.
Yeah.
Dr. Fields, I have a question.
Well, because you might get liver damage from something else, a mushroom. Wait a minute. Okay, then you're eating plant or mushroom, or a virus could damage your liver that essentially you can't convert amino acids and sugars because there's sugar in meat, is there not?
Yeah.
There is some,
Yeah. Interesting.
That was something I noticed like 3 months into carnivore. Why does my steak taste sweet? I could taste the sweetness of the steak after I got rid of the sugar. Dr. Kiltz, Zaid has a question. She's pregnant. How to reduce blood pressure with carnivore, and she's worried. Blood pressure, 139 over 8. How to reduce blood pressure? Apparently, she has high blood pressure and she's pregnant. 139 over 88.
meditation,
Yeah.
prayer, calmness, grounding, red light therapy. And I think that it's more fat, and raw fatty meat is better than cooked meat. Because when you cook it, you lose the fat. That means you're only eating protein and sugars in the meat, which both require the liver. And again, elevated sugars and proteins glycate, stiffen the vessels. It takes a little time. Plus, aren't you worried about your blood pressure? And what does worry do to your blood pressure?
Right. It makes it go up higher by
It
worrying.
go up. I just stopped measuring it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I actually like whenever I have steaks, I always have them blue. At least I try to. Yeah.
Black and blue or raw.
Yeah, black and blue. Yep.
Black and blue or raw.
Yep. I just
That's the very best. I cut raw steak all the time and eat it with a little salt. That's it. Doctor.
You had a previous question there.
I did about boron.
No, they were asking Tom, what does a day of
Oh.
eating look like for him?
Yep.
Okay, good. What do you eat in a day? Yeah.
Okay. Well, when I do, because I was doing, I'm going to go back to it, doing the alternate day fasting, the ADF. So when I do eat, I'll have usually 2 to 3 meals, usually 3. And for 2 of them, I'll have a steak. And then for the first meal, I'll have like 4 burgers and like 4 to 6 things of bacon, and then like 4 eggs, like 4 to 5 eggs.
Nice.
I think many carnivores overeat meat. And I love priming, but I think some people think, I can eat as much as I want.
Right.
And I think that we just overdo it. I think less is best.
Right. No, I agree. Like now I'm eating a lot less, the priming's done with. So, it's something I did. And, just to try it, and it helped, I did lose I think I lost a lot of weight, because I can't really say for sure, because I don't have a scale at my house. So I won't know how much I've actually lost until I actually go to the doctor's office, actually tomorrow, on the 10th. So we'll see how they feel about all my numbers and everything like that, and go from there. And but basically, I know I lost some weight because I went 3 notches down on my belt, and I went down from a 2X to an XL. So,
well, is being skinny in a famine a good idea?
No.
Is fat causing disease?
Yeah. I still have some fat on me, so I definitely will survive a famine. That's, and I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. I'm great with that. My health is more important than anything.
Jeanette Cleveland, KMT, after 6 years of not having a period due to an IUD, I have had it removed, but my super heavy periods have returned full force like before getting IUD. I'm mostly beef, salt and water. Mostly. I don't know what mostly means. His direction is, it goes 48, doing this best I can, but frustrated. Well, you could have a fibroid. You could have adenomyosis, which set in. And I don't know what mostly carnivore means. It means
you're either
you're either carnivore or you're not. But it takes time to heal these things. But I get an ultrasound and a biopsy, make sure you don't have a pre-cancer fibroids. And sometimes it requires some other evaluation or treatment for sure.
We got another question for you, sexy gentlemen. As it says here, have you sexy intelligent men ever used boron? If so, how do you use it? I just heard a great interview with Paul at Dave Mack's channel. He talked about boron helped him with hormones, and later it's apparently he's like 70 years old, and it increased his testosterone.
Where do we get boron naturally in nature? Where do we have boron natural in nature? Where would our ancients hunt for boron?
I'm going to ask AI.
the fatty meat.
I get right. I mean, and do you have any comments on that, Doc?
No, so sometimes I am, and I've said this before, I'm not anti-supplementation, but sometimes chasing the 1%, the 0.1%, they are important. They're, minerals in general, the boron, calcium, magnesium, all these things are important in our body, but sometimes we're chasing the supplement that gives us a 0.1% benefit, and we stop concentrating on the 80-90%. You know, I used to be many years ago into the supplement things, and having 15-20 bottles of different supplements on the cupboard. A lot of intense energy and time and money for sometimes a marginal benefit. So that's my general comments about supplements. My practice used to be a holistic practice. Anyways, I'm not doing that anymore.
We had a question from Chris, and Chris, where is it? It's for me. Saw a drink recipe: salt, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and 8 ounces of water. It's nice. Is it acceptable? I'm going to say it's not carnivore. It's not carnivore, but I think you can drink it. Yeah, how often? He just saw the drink.
I mean, I put a little bit of lemon or lime in my sparkling water sometimes when I'm drinking. Those small amounts are not but it's if you're having a ton of it, it's not the.
I actually had I was on omeprazole for quite a while, and so I used the ACV to help me get gotten off that. So I use it like when my stomach's upset and stuff like that.
See, this is an example of where using a supplement without even testing, you might do this, might be helpful, because omeprazole and all the acid reducers in your stomach will eventually interfere with the amount of B12 you're absorbing.
Mm.
So B12 is important, even if it's, where is it present the most? I mean, but I wouldn't mind someone tells me, I take omeprazole, so I take also some B12.
Right. Well, I mean, with me, I was, technically you're not supposed to be on B12 on omeprazole for too long, and my doctors would never take me off it. So, like, for 6 years, I was on it.
Used to be, you might remember this, Dr. Kills. It used to be that when it came out, it was only very strictly, and the package insert will say this, that you take it for, allergies in the morning. Used to be that you only have people for a few weeks, a month or two, and then you took them off, period.
Right.
Now they keep you on it, and they can increase your risk of osteoporosis, vitamin B12 deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Even some suggestion that might increase your risk of certain cancers and other things. And I took it for years and years and years as well.
I mean, thankfully now I've been off it since February 6th. So, and the ACV has been helping me out quite a bit with that.
Here's a question for Tom.
Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes. Do you do Lugol's
I
iodine?
I have done sardines, and I'm actually running low, but.
Oh, there's Lugol's iodine.
But I was doing sardines for a while, but I just, I'm like kind of on a budget. So I kind of like buy food for me and my roommate. So, with that being said, he's not carnivore, but I do buy the meats and stuff like that. and so I have to kind of be on a budget. So even the sardines can be a little problematic when it comes to the cost, because just one can is not going to do for me for anything. So I have to buy it because I shop monthly. I don't shop weekly. I get all my food. I have a special freezer in one of the rooms in my apartment, and stock up on the meats and stuff like that. And that's pretty much how I shop.
I'm not promoting the store or the product in particular, but if you're gonna have sardines, I buy mine in water with skin and bones and whatever, but just in water. And I buy the store brand at your favorite W store near you. And it
that's
is
where I get mine too.
right now. And they went, past few years, they used to be 88 cents. Now they're 94 cents, but they're still under $1.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
when when I have like a little extra money or something like that, I will get, some sardines, and I'll go for like about a month or so with some extra sardines.
I've got a question on Killed Smarty Tribe. Frequent nosebleeds on carnivore. What are your thoughts, Doc?
Stop punching your nose.
Is this?
I'm sorry.
Frequent nosebleeds on carnivore. What's the first thing to do?
Are the nosebleeds because of carnivore, you think? Usually people have nosebleed problems because of other nasal things. So that's the first thing. The question is sort of incomplete without a lot of information.
Get checked. Get your platelets checked. Get your blood checked. See what's going on. Make sure you don't have a nasal polyp or something, right?
Next question, Amy Hosp. How did you learn about carnivore?
I guess I technically learned from watching Dr. Barry. Technically.
Nice.
Even when I was keto, I actually watched Dr. Barry back when he was still keto and everything like that. And funny thing is before my mom passed away and everything like that, we used to watch him and Bella, Steak and Butter Gal, and we also watched a guy called Bob Briggs. Butter made my pants fall down. I don't know if you guys remember him or not, but and my mom used to love Bella because she loved her piano, because back then she used to play the piano all the time.
Oh yeah, we love Bella.
I don't see her doing that anymore, but my mom used to love her piano playing, and
Nice.
But Dr. Barry, I mean, I think my mom had a crush on Dr. Barry, actually. So.
Cute. That's really cute. Yeah. Eve has a question. Thomas, have you ever had any nausea or loss of appetite while healing with carnivore?
When it comes to meat, I don't usually have any nausea from it. Except for eggs. If there comes a time for just a short while, it doesn't last too long, maybe a week, where I'm like, I can't stand the look of egg. I can't stand, any eggs. So I just go off it for a little bit and I go right back on it again, But no, I don't think I've really had any loss of appetite or anything like that. And my nausea was more when I had the gastroparesis than it was really with the carnivore. Carnivore actually helped the nausea. Part.
Great. There was another question for Dr. Kiltz. Haley, when my doc found out I still eat meat, she's determined to get me a CBC. I don't know what a CBC is. What do you think?
Complete blood count.
Oh, complete blood count. Oh, okay. Why do you think? Anyone? Why do you think her doctor wants her to get a complete blood count?
That's for you, Dr. Kiltz. It says there.
Oh, well, let's see. Is your doctor concerned that you shouldn't be on carnivore, and she wants to get a CBC to be convinced that you've got some disease?
Right, to find something.
Something. But how are you feeling? That's really it. You know, you go to the doctor and they do a test, and they say, "Oh my God," and then you worry. And quite commonly, I think our biggest problem is we do testing that we don't need. I mean, what disease does meat cause? Oh, you become a lion.
The
And then
lion
you think
disease.
Dr. Nelson.
Or
Per AI, the CBC doctors are ordering them when you have fatigue, weakness, infections, or unexplained bruising. That's what AI says you're supposed to get it for.
But right, you got a problem.
Yeah, you got a problem.
You got a problem. Let's see. Edmund, reflux. Let's see. I have acid reflux. Don't take acid reducer. You need to increase the acid to stimulate the sphincter to close. I love sardines. It's a comment from another comment. And basically, what causes acid reflux? Fermentation in the gut, secondary a plant protein, low-fat diet. And that's one of our biggest problems. We got too many bugs that love you. We got Scott here, Wired for Healing. Meat stock coming up.
Hey, Scott. And Julie says she's a leopard. Exactly.
spotty.
I was listening to oh my God, my brain's got this. The leading cause of death is iatrogenic from doctors in the medical field, right? One of the leading causes. I don't know what the number is, but and so ultimately all of our testing and drugs and dissections and recommendations or lack of something causes a lot of damage and disease, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. We have this question. Good morning from Paraguay. Can you talk about vaccines and medications that are obligatory to put into cows? How much ends up in the steak? I don't know. I think your meat's probably better in Paraguay.
Okay. So is the worst meat in the world with vaccines and antibiotics and what's the other one?
Corn.
Corn. The cause of your illness, or is the plant-based low animal fat diet the cause of your illness? I mean, really, we go around worried about, oh my God, don't eat that meat, but you're eating the plants. And so ultimately,
or the Snickers bars or apple fritters and things that are not real food.
well, a Snickers bar from time to time. Right, I agree with you. Look, I would bet industrial meat is still better than organic plants all day long.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that 100%.
Here's another blood pressure question for the doc. This is from Brian, Fly Fisherman Dish. For the doc, if you have high blood pressure, does it affect how you feel? From what I found out, you don't notice it, and that's why it's called the silent killer. Dr. Nelson.
He asked the question, but kind of answered it as well.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's called a silent killer because most people with high blood pressure do not have any symptoms, and their first symptom is the stroke. So,
but is hypertension the cause, or is it the side effect? Because again, it's the plant protein low-fat diet that is the cause of inflammation. Hypertension is a sign of inflammation, but I bet that hypertension itself isn't the cause. It's the secondary side effect, like the stroke, because most strokes are thrombotic, meaning you get a blood clot, which is secondary to stickiness and phytohemagglutinin, which are plant glutenating substances, cause most of the blood clots. So I would say if you have hypertension, it's just an indication you have inflammation.
Right.
That's
and I would actually say on this question I'm reading here, it kind of goes both ways with the feeling part of it, because how you feel can affect your blood pressure, and I'm sure it goes in both directions, because if you're stressing out about it, you're going to have high blood pressure, and that's an indication of how you feel.
Well, what's the purpose of your blood pressure going up?
Right.
It's to fuel the organs in the moment of fight or flight. But we live in a world of fight or flight because we listen to the news. We're reading and watching stories that are usually in a fight or flight mode. Right. And so your brain always sees the world in fight or flight.
Yeah.
And, a car going at 60 miles an hour, does your brain think, oh, this is so relaxing? Or is it like, what the F is going on? So we put ourselves in environments that are not normal.
Yeah, we stress ourselves out. Yeah.
Yeah. And so inflammation.
Exactly. Let's see. There was another question here. How can I transition to eating my meat less well? Oh, less cooked. Okay. It's a mental thing, eating it red. Just close your eyes and you're going to love it.
I would say gradually, just cook a little bit less each time until you get to that point.
I dry age it and slice it thin, put some salt on it and chew it. Remember, a lion that doesn't eat raw meat becomes meat. Mm. We are lions.
We are lions.
We are lions. We got Lorraine from Montreal here. Go ahead.
Personal experience with that. I find that digesting is the meat is better for me when it's not well done. Well done, it feels like it takes longer in my stomach digestion, and if it's medium well or medium rare or black and blue, those things are better to digest for me. Right. And I think it's probably for most people. But some people cannot see it even slightly pink. Oh my God, it's not well.
Right. Like it's like, oh my God, I can't. Yeah, I know people like that. But the only thing I'm like that with is chicken. I don't like that raw for good reason.
Don't eat chicken raw. Please don't eat chicken raw.
Well, but the problem is, so
I don't, Malia.
I mean, we didn't hunt chickens.
No,
we hunted big beasts. But if you read Pottinger's Cats, the studies showed that cooked meat, pasteurized milk were harmful to cats. Raw was better. I think our problem is cooked glycates and damages the molecular structure of the meat, which doesn't provide the same benefits. I mean, does cooking potentially destroy the minerals and vitamins?
I think it can, yeah. Yeah, it cooks it out, basically.
Yeah, like it does when
it eradicates it. But the funny thing is for some reason, the more well done my food is, the more salt I want on it. So,
but you get more of the meat is absorbed and utilized in our body when it's raw.
Yeah.
And generally chickens, I mean, I guess if you raise your own chickens, you slaughter them and eat them, but that's different than basically industrial produced. I think I don't eat chicken and fish. They stink.
Oh man, I'm so glad I live in Colombia where all this stuff is so fresh, because chicken tastes good here. Fish never stinks, but I don't eat a lot of it.
I mean, I do find fish to be very fishy, but
Can't do sardines.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a couple more questions. Oh, good. We got some time still. Let's see. Where did it go? This is the advice for Tom. Don't eat raw chicken ever.
I don't. There is supposed to be some kind of chicken though that's actually a blue chicken or something like that. That's supposed to be.
No, just don't.
Yeah. Well, yeah. wouldn't be able to afford blue chicken anyway.
There was a question about carnivore and eating so much meat and uric acid. I can't find it right now. Oh, here it is. Another question for a friend: to do away with worries about carnivore, too much uric acid in the meat. Dr. Nelson?
First of all, it's not that the meat has uric acid. Meat is considered one of the things that could provide what increases the uric acid in your body. But meat, if you look at it, you look at uric acid containing foods or purine, red meat is not in the high category. It's actually moderate. But you know what raises uric acids a lot? Fructose in particular. And people who are drinking juices, especially excessively, but juices, that increases your uric acid. Beer, a lot of things that maybe we shouldn't be eating or drinking.
I sort of focused on the wrong thing there.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you do have a problem with gout, maybe avoid the organ meats and avoid the fruits, avoid the juice, the beer, and the other stuff, and it's not going to be a significant problem. Some people do have gout more frequently. I've never had a gouty attack, but I've treated plenty, and they're painful.
Inflammation.
Yeah.
Plant protein, low-fat diet.
I have a cousin with gout, and he had been having a lot of problems with the gout, and he always calls me for advice. And I told him exactly what I just said. Keep eating the steak, but don't drink any more juices and diminish the fruit or no fruit. He hasn't had one more gout attack since he's been doing what I said.
So interesting from Pottinger's cats. An autopsy, cooked meat-fed females frequently present ovarian atrophy, uterine congestion, and the males show failure in the development of active spermatogenesis. Abortion in pregnant females is common, running about 25% in the first deficient generation to about 70% in the second generation. So again, you got to read the book. It's really very fascinating. My bet is 50,000, 100,000 some time ago, we killed the animal, we ate the animal, and we weren't waiting for the cook. And it likely is that raw meat is the healthiest thing to eat.
I think you're right. There's plenty of Teddy's a little worried about the raw meat, but I think that we can get used to it. We increase we just go over and like gradiently get used to it.
Right. That's gradual. Yeah.
Because we're used to all the cooked stuff, or because also Teddy mentioned a couple of weeks ago that he went raw and he felt sick, and I remember him saying that. But
psychologically, people get sick all day long. Oh, I'm worried about this. I mean, that sends up epinephrine, cortisol, and all the worry hormones. But lions that don't eat raw meat become meat.
Oh, he just said he got really sick from trying raw meat.
That should be a t-shirt, Dr. Kiltz. Lions.
Yeah, right.
Wait,
right.
Say it again?
That should be a t-shirt.
No, what was the thing for the t-shirt? What did you say, Dr. Kiltz?
Lions that don't eat raw meat become meat.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. There's a couple more questions.
But you likely have to hunt it and kill it yourself. The problem is, where are you getting your meat? What meat are you eating? Those are factors in all of this, for sure. Dry aged meat, exactly what. Let it dry. I put it in the refrigerator on a rack, salt, and let it just sit there for days, sometimes weeks. There are dry agers also is another one you could use.
And most of the, I don't know if you guys watch the Bearded Butchers or any of the.
I've seen them. Yeah.
on YouTube. They're great. By the way, I tried to get them. They said no.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We got to
They
go with
will.
that. Yeah, they got their own stuff. They just stick to that.
But
They're in Ohio.
So I've learned a little bit about that. It seems most butchers, at least 7 days, they're hanging their meat before they process it. Some do it at 21 days. So that's basically the dry aging. You let time go by while it's losing moisture. I don't know how much. I don't have a problem with histamine problems or like other people do. Dry aging affects some people with histamine problems, but I cut, sometimes I buy picanha, cut it in steaks, put it in a rack, put some salt on it, stick it in the refrigerator. The most something is there is probably 7 days, because as soon as I do that, my son and I start eating from it. So it, might be 3 days only. But yeah, that's a little dry aging. Some people have special refrigerators for dry aging, and they can do it for a long time, 30 days.
I love it. I think it's the best. It's great.
I love that you can put your meat in the fridge, your red meat in the fridge, and then it just tastes better the longer it sits there.
Yeah. Chicken and fish stink in that.
And they'll go bad in days.
Yeah.
Chicken and fish will go bad in days in your fridge.
Yeah.
A question on Instagram. Can you talk about stealth pathogens? EBV, COVID, weight loss, hair shedding, mitigate these effects. Carnivore, grass-fed, lamb, beef. It's the only thing that's stabilizing things. Well, that is the answer. Get rid of plants. And also, I always say, as you think everything is, you live a life of worry. And so, we evolved with all of these pathogens. You're a pathogen. So it's just part of nature. We're getting down to 3 minutes.
Oh gosh. Yeah. We got to do, okay, so we're going to take one more minute. Everyone put hashtag Tom. You're going to win, somebody's going to win a 30 days to carnivore course. Yep.
How do you spell that?
Tom is hashtag TOM. All right, so just toss those hashtag Toms in there. Anybody who hasn't, so we have 137 people watching. We've never had 137 hashtags, so just toss them in there. We can see the lucky winner.
Absolutely.
You want to make sure you're here tomorrow, because the company Tasty is giving away. We're partnering with Tasty, and they're giving away 10 air fryers.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do, I think, every 7 minutes a giveaway. So I need people putting hashtags in there.
Yeah, every so often. Be here. But you
when
can't.
Is that tomorrow?
You can't win two.
You can't win two.
We got to get to the next.
Yeah. You can't win two. You can only win one. But if your name comes up again, I just draw again. It's just
unfortunately, I'm going to be missing that. So
is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
All you need to do is come on for a second, Tom.
I'm actually going to be at work until 6 a.m. So you guys are going to be done by the time I can actually even go on my phone. So.
And to the Instagram and Kill Somebody Tribe, you have to come on to YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah. You can watch from there and then just hop on. If you're watching from Instagram, just hop on for a second. And
if I find myself.
Who's on tomorrow morning?
The representative from Tasty to hang out with us and tell us about the mission.
Do we know who it is?
Not yet. All
right.
They're working it out.
And then, which was Thursday? Oh, Friday.
Amy is Amy Perrin.
Brisket Boomers. Amy's going to be there.
Amy.
Really excited.
Yeah. Amy's going to be here.
We got to do a Princeton, New Jersey meetup. Tom.
I would like that. That would be a lot closer.
We'll do it.
I was telling Alia earlier that I actually live near Asbury Park, near the Stone Pony.
Or Trenton or somewhere around there, right?
Yeah. Well, I lived in Trenton, I lived in Princeton, but now I live in Wall near the shore.
Yeah. Haley says, go to the bathroom. You got to go to the bathroom I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I need a BR.
I will try.
Bathroom break. 5:01 bathroom
If you've
break.
seen those bathrooms, I don't know if I'd really want to be able to.
Oh gosh.
Okay,
so we're gonna do
Tribe,
it
have
now.
a great day. Instagram, have a great
We
day.
got to do the
Oh
thing.
yeah, let's go at it.
Let's go at it.
And we're setting up. I talked to a Diane Ladd yesterday. She wants to join with our coaching. So would
Great.
you talk to her?
Yeah.
Great.
Mary at Greek Carnivore, congratulations.
Yeah,
Please
Mary.
email me
Congratulations,
so we
Mary.
can set you up with that. Yay, Mary. Alia at drkiltz.com. This is going to be the most well-known email on all of the internet. Alia at drkiltz.com.
Yeah. All right. All right, all.
All right, everybody. We love you. See you tomorrow for air fryers. Goodbye.
Yeah.